83% of businesses in America don't have any employees, and that's 30 million people running one-person businesses. And the crazy part about that is that roughly 70% of them are profitable within the first year. And the only reason why any of this is possible is because of the recent advancements in AI. Now, the problem for most people who want to build one of these one-person businesses with AI is that, you go on YouTube and everyone tells you the same thing. You've got to vibe code some kind of AI app or get some developers, and the second that you actually start getting into vibe coding and all that, it's very technical and it's not easy at all. From my personal experience, you don't need to build some kind of AI app to make around 5 to 10K a month. All you need to do is sell a service and have AI do all of the heavy lifting in the background. And for me personally, I actually dropped out of my dream school to build one of these online service businesses from my bedroom, and AI is doing most of the heavy work now. I even taught this model to one of my clients, Philippe, who went from being a barista to now doing around $15,000 to $20,000 a month. So in this video today, I'm going to show you the exact framework that you can essentially just copy and paste to build a profitable one-person online business. And I'm not going to sit here and say you're going to hit 10K a month in the next 30 days, but you might in the next couple of months. And more specifically though, we're going to be using GoHighLevel. So if you have no tech experience and no coding experience, no worries, because I don't either. This video is probably going to be the perfect place to start. So when you decide that you want to actually use AI to build one of these one-person businesses, you've really got two options. Path one is you can build some kind of product. You can use some kind of SaaS, some kind of software, some kind of AI app, and the pitch sounds amazing, right? You build it once, you sell it forever, you get recurring revenue while you sleep, and basically make passive income, but the reality is that it takes 6 to 12 months to actually build something people are willing to pay for, because you're literally competing against funded teams with engineers, and the data game is brutal. I mean, most AI apps built by solo founders, you really never actually crack even like $100 a month or a K a month. It's like you will burn 6 months of your life and end up with nothing. Path two is building a service business. Right now, you may not have money to allocate, but you might have time. If you can sell your time through a service-based business, more specifically something online, that is by far the best route you can go down. But more specifically, some kind of AI agency. Now, here's why I went this route and why I push my clients to do the same thing. A service is just a promise. You sell the outcome first, and then you build the thing after the client pays, right? There's no startup costs, there's no inventory, there's no risk on your end. You don't need a year of runway to make it work. You can literally close a $3,000 to $4,000 a month client this week, take their money, use part of it to build out your system if you need extra help. And that's not theoretical either. I mean, that's what most agency owners actually do. And the other thing that nobody really tells you is that an agency is like way more scalable than people give it credit for. I mean, once you build the same automation system or same ad system that for like 10 roofers, I mean, you basically built a productized service that you could just like copy and paste to every roofer in the nation. And that's exactly what I've done with my own. I literally have the same exact ads and same exact fulfillment and same AI systems built over across 20 clients that are all paying me around $2,000 to $4,000 a month. Now let's get specific here, because I think most people just kind of throw around the term AI agency and have no idea what it actually means in practice. An AI agency is a service-based business online that provides a service and uses AI to do all of the heavy lifting. I personally position my AI agency to not just offer some kind of automation and some kind of AI receptionist, because those aren't things that are valuable enough to businesses. If you think about most businesses, especially local businesses that have been doing things for like a long time, the same way, maybe growing with word of mouth, usually they don't have enough jobs. They don't have enough leads, they don't have enough appointments, and they don't have enough work. I basically sell an entire full-fledged marketing suite service that provides ads and uses AI to convert those leads into more appointments, book jobs, and eventually more revenue for my customers. They will always need more customers, and it's very important that you choose something that's not very replaceable. All of these home improvement companies are usually bleeding money in the same three places. One, missed leads. When someone calls a roofer at 2 p.m. and nobody picks up because they're busy on the job, they call the next one on Google and they give them their business. AI can fix this. You can have missed call text back automations within 30 seconds. And two, slow follow-up. I mean, most service-based businesses, follow up on a quote once, maybe twice, and then they forget about it. If you do a 30 to 90 day nurture sequence with AI that can literally text based on the lead situation, it's like it's overpowered. And three, the most important by far, is like these companies are great. They've grown in word of mouth. Usually they're doing a couple million a year, so they've got money to spend. But unfortunately, they're mostly doing word of mouth. They're not really running paid systems. What if we were to implement paid advertising for their companies and use all of this AI in the back end to literally convert most of those leads into appointments and then jobs? It's so valuable to these business owners that they are willing to pay thousands and thousands of dollars a month and stay with you for years. I mean, I've had a client pay me for the last 2 years, around $2,000 to $4,000 a month for 2+ years. I mean, he's paid me like $50,000 in profit. Now, personally, what's great is that you can build all of this out on the same CRM platform. I use GoHighLevel because it has an entire stack in one place. It has a CRM, a calendar, SMS, email automations, AI voice. It has literally everything, right? So you're not stitching together 12 different tools with Zapier and Make and just praying it doesn't break. You build it once with GoHighLevel. You can snapshot it, so you can basically copy and paste it to new clients and deploy that snapshot. And the client doesn't care that you used AI to build some of this stuff out. They honestly just care about talking with more homeowners at the kitchen table that are interested in their service. That is the only thing that matters to them, and that's the entire pitch. So before I get into the how, let me show you what's actually happening and what's possible, because this stuff sounds great in a video, but it doesn't really matter until there's actual results. Now, Philippe started working with me one-on-one. We started hopping on calls every week, and he basically had no experience with any of this stuff whatsoever. 12 weeks later, he collected $15,000 in a single month, and he didn't have some unfair advantage. He just picked a niche. He basically built one good system for them, started running ads for them, and basically signed some clients and started to make around 2 to 4K a month per client. Ethan is 17. He started to work with me one-on-one too, and I mean, super smart kid, but he's literally not even legally allowed to sign contracts. He's not old enough, but he literally crossed 10K a month and did his first 10K profit last month. Another one is Carson. He started working with me one-on-one a couple months back, and literally yesterday, he just texted me that he had his first 10K a month in profit, which is absolutely insane. And another one, Ramiz, as well. I mean, he spent like 18 months trying to build one of these businesses on his own with nothing to show for it. And within days of joining the program, he was signing like 3 to 5 clients a day. And these clients are worth a lot. And the difference wasn't his skill level by any means. It was just having a predictable system instead of guessing. He was going to YouTube to try to solve specific problems that he was having instead of going to someone that's actually done it himself. Now, I'm telling you all this not to sell you on me. I'll do that later, but because it's important to actually understand that none of these people are special in any way. Yes, they are smarter than the average person, I'd say, but they don't have some genius IQ or unfair head start with a bunch of money to start up with. They just picked a model that works and they started to take ruthless action. Now, the single biggest mistake that I see new agency owners make when trying to build one of these businesses is they don't know how to package their offer to appeal to who they're trying to sell to. They say, I help businesses with AI, and it's like, these businesses don't even know that AI is going to help them, so they're not going to go with you. They literally just want more jobs. So if you can package your stuff the right way in front of the right kind of business owner, you will make so much more money. And if you're starting from zero, then I really recommend you pick one industry. I wouldn't specify one specific niche because you don't even know if you like the industry yet, but I would just start with one industry. And if you're trying to figure out who to work with, here are some questions that you can ask yourself. Question 1, is this niche profitable enough to pay you? A one-man landscaping, operation isn't probably going to pay you 2K a month, but a roofing company doing $3 million a year in revenue absolutely will. You want businesses where one new customer is worth anywhere between 5K and above, because then whatever you charge on a month-to-month basis to them honestly just becomes a rounding error to them. So the second important question is, can you actually reach them? Okay, roofers are everywhere. They're on Facebook, they're on Instagram, they're on BBB, they're on Instagram. Med spa owners are on Instagram, but HVAC techs, are kind of hard to reach. They're always, gatekept by a bunch of receptionists, and it's really hard to actually find and message the decision makers. So you want to find a niche that's easy to reach out to. And question 4 is, do you have any unfair advantage here? Okay, did you used to work in this industry? Does your dad own some kind of roofing company? Do you live in an area saturated with med spas? Do you live in an area full of service businesses? It's like personal connection to a niche will cut that initial sales cycle a lot, especially when you can understand their language, right? You can speak in their terms. And if you answered those questions honestly, you probably landed on around 2 to 3 viable niches. If I were you, I would just blindly go into home industries, so home improvement, because that industry has so many different niches and verticals, and because of that, you can find these little small niches that are really untapped, right? Roofing is very busy. There's lots of agencies that are helping them with AI and ads and all this stuff, but if you could find those little, small niches, home security systems, landscaping, garage doors. It's these are the small niches that no one really thinks about, but you can easily reach the business owner because they're not giant companies, but they're usually doing good numbers because they're such, a unicorn in their space. And for me, it was roofing. I picked that 2 years ago, and now I'm the guy in the space. Now, this is the part where most people freeze. They think, okay, what if someone actually pays me 2 to 4K a month? What do I even do? How do I fulfill that? Now, here's the playbook. What I would recommend you do is run ads on the company's behalf. You basically use AI to make AI-created ads that you can run for those companies. Then, what you can do is take those leads, put them into a software called GoHighLevel, which is basically a software where you can have everything in your business at once, including the AI calling, AI conversation agents, like AI texting, automations, like everything. And you could take the leads that they get from the ads, put them into GoHighLevel, help convert those GoHighLevel leads into appointments and jobs for the contractors. In this snapshot, you're going to have nurture automations, you're going to have new emails and new lead and speed delete automations that text new leads within 30 seconds of them responding, a missed call text back so no inbound call ever goes to waste, an appointment confirmation and a reminder sequence for your client as well as your client's, customer that he wants to sell to. And it's like all these long-term nurture sequences that have 50 plus messages. I mean, my long-term nurture sequences for my clients go on for literally a year. It's like that right there is what's going to increase the revenue of these companies, right? If you can follow up with all of these cold leads, immediately and continue to follow up with them for 90 plus days, it's like all of these will convert into jobs because you are going to be the company, or at least you're going to be working with the company that's doing tons of follow-ups. Even a dashboard to see what's going on. You can even text new leads, email new leads, all this stuff. And you build this once. You test it on yourself or a friend's business, and that's what I've done myself when I started, just until it's bulletproof, until it's working really, really well. And if you have specific questions about how to in-depth download GoHighLevel, how to set this up, how to build an automation, how to build these ads, how to work on this stuff, I have an 11-hour video in the description of this video. 11 hours of just straight value to show you exactly how to do this from start to finish so you have no questions unanswered. Now, in the beginning, all of your time should be spent on getting your first couple of clients. I mean, you could have the best offer in the world, but if no one knows you exist, none of it matters, right? And there's two ways you can go about getting clients, and honestly, you should probably be doing both. Number one is cold outreach. Okay, this is the fastest way to get money in the door, especially when you have zero. I used to do it when I was, starting out 2 years ago, and you don't need a personal brand or anything crazy or even to use your face at all. You just need to basically have a list of leads, which you can get on Fiverr or even just Google Maps scraping, or you could probably just ask Claude to scrape leads for you, they'll do it for you. And basically, you can do that and message these businesses on a potential partnership, give them a call, don't be generic, don't have a generic pitch, make it personalized. Be an actual human. They don't want to see some fancy sales guy. They want to see someone that they can work with, that they can see a long-term partnership with. And that right there turns into the most clients. If you can do a couple hundred of these personalized outreaches a day where you're just basically calling up engaged business owners that you maybe have text or emailed, that's honestly enough to get your first couple of booked appointments where you can start selling on the call, which honestly, it's an hour or two of focused work a day. It's not crazy. And if you can't commit to that, you probably don't even want this bad enough, to be honest. And method number two is paid acquisition. It's running paid ads for yourself to attract customers, which honestly, it's not something that I recommend starting in the beginning, but it can really speed up and enhance the process because one, you can learn how to run ads for yourself, which will help you in your, experience of trying to learn how to run ads for other companies, so you have a little bit of proof to back up the pudding. And also, you will naturally just attract higher level businesses that make more money and more profit every year. But if I were you, I would just start with cold so you don't have to put your own money on the line in the beginning. Now, here's your 30-day timeline. Days 1 through 7, I want you to pick your niche. I want you to build your offer. I want you to run through the framework I gave you to land on a single, industry. Write out exactly what your offer is, what you charge, what's included, all this stuff. Don't skip the vagueness, but keep in mind that these guys just care about more jobs. An incredible offer that's working for a lot of my guys right now that I'm helping one-on-one is that they're basically saying, hey, we'll get you 6 to 8 jobs every single month on a pay per result basis where you only pay if you actually get results. Okay, an offer like that is super strong and super tangible because one, they know exactly what they're getting is 6 to 8 jobs a month and they're only paying for the results that they actually get. And on a more specific level, what that actually looks like is they're charging $40 to $60 for every single lead that they get them and basically paying the ad spend themselves. And that way, there's no sales resistance and they can just sign tons of clients. But I honestly would recommend some kind of pay per result option, right? That's really important in the beginning, especially if you want, clients that are worth more than just $1,500. If you want the 2 to 5K month clients, you need pay per results. And if you want, again, a breakdown on how to fulfill exactly for these clients, there's 11 hours of a free video right in the description of this video you can watch that will help and explain everything. Now, days 7 through 14 is you want to start with outreach. Okay, honestly, you want to start with either cold SMS or cold email outreach and do hundreds of messages every single day. Do way more than you think you have to, and you can completely automate this with GoHighLevel as well. And while you're doing this, you can start building out your back-end fulfillment for your customers using that 11-hour video. And by the end of week 2, you should have, this basic system functioning. You should have appointments being booked every single day, and you should start selling. Days 14 through 21, you want to increase the volume that you're doing. You want to make sure that you're doing the right things, so you're booking appointments and just increase everything to a whole nother level. Okay, and then by day 21 to day 30, you're taking closing calls, right? You're booking around 2 to 5 sales calls, at least, and every couple of days. And because of that, you're allowed to sell. You want to record them, and you want to basically watch them back for feedback to improve. But realistic expectation wise, like somewhere between day 14 and day 45, you will close your first guy. I mean, Philippe closed his first within 3 weeks. Ramiz closed multiple inside of a couple of weeks. Sam closed his first client in like 45 days, I think. Ethan closed his first client in a couple of weeks. It's like usually it's a couple of weeks of doing that consistent higher level outbound where you're basically reaching out to tons of businesses, booking tons of appointments, and getting on multiple sales opportunities. Now, the timeline is going to be dependent on you, right? But if you do the inputs, the outputs are essentially guaranteed. So that's the system. You pick a niche, you build some kind of service in a snapshot, you basically run outreach, you maybe even possibly run paid ads, get on calls. I mean, none of this is crazy complicated. Most of it's just doing the work after you understand the actual model. And if you want my personal help running this business, Agency Link is a program where I basically walk you through all of it. It's one-on-one with me. It's like we hop on a call every week and I basically just tell you what to do and you do it. So the niche selection, the GoHighLevel builds, the outreach scripts, the sales calls frameworks, like the fulfillment, running ads, building the ads, all of the specifics. But I honestly only work with people that, I actually think it's going to work for. So if you're not ready for that, just start, maybe watch this video again, maybe watch the 11-hour video in the description, pick your niche today, figure out all this stuff. And the whole point of this model is that there's no barrier to entry, right? You don't need permission from people. You don't need credentials. You just need to start, and you'll learn by doing, right? So if you want to see how I do cold outbound, or you want to see how I do paid ads, or more importantly, how I fulfill for my clients, you can watch the next video on the screen next, which is going to be that 11-hour video, or click it in the description and I'll catch you in that one. So have a good day.